What is the highest budget you've worked with for a production?
75 to 76 million.
Wow. This episode is brought to you by Credit Direct. My name is Gbemi Olaterola, and welcome to the Fashion Roundtable. My guest today is someone who has been responsible for the way you see your Nollywood characters. Think of all the big projects you can think of. She's been there from Sugar to The Wedding Party, Blood Sisters, King of Boys, Oloture, The Meeting, and so many more projects that I'm sure she's worked on. She is Yolanda Okereke. Please put your hands together for her. Incredibly talented. Welcome.
I'm clapping for me.
You should clap for yourself.
My AMVCA for this year. Something about the Briggs.
Oh, she got nominated. You see.
The 8th nomination.
This is your 8th nomination. Have you won before?
They refused to give me plaque.
8 nominations over the years, and you haven't won it?
No.
Hey.
But I think I've won in my own way.
This is my
8 is consistency, so that's a big win for me.
This is my 3rd one, and I was thinking maybe, third time's the charm.
Please, God. You guys have done well, so you get this one. Yeah.
I pray you get this one too. My goodness, congratulations.
Thank you.
And welcome. Now, usually I start these conversations with how did you get started, but we'll get into that in a second. How does a stylist go for, I know you used to also style celebrities and different people. How does a stylist get a gig as, or get a film project or a TV project? How does that work?
So, the truth is, when I say a stylist as a costume designer, I can tell. Because what they're doing is styling and not telling the story using the costume. Okay. So I would always say stylists should stick to being stylists. And fashion designers, be a fashion designer. Costume designer, be a costume designer. Because for costume design, you're not styling anymore. You're actually building the costume per frame. Okay. Every scene is telling a story. Okay. So if I were a stylist and Gbemi is my actor on set and she's playing Mrs. Danjuma, I'm going to style her as Gbemi. But if I am a costume designer and I understand that Gbemi is playing Mrs. Danjuma, who is Mrs. Danjuma? Okay. Is she very vain? Is she very loud? Is she, all of those things now come together. What colors flatter her? So I go to Gbemi's IG page, look at what Gbemi looks like, and Miss Danjuma cannot look like that. So that's where the difference is. So I can very quickly identify, that's the stylist work. That's not the costume designer's work. Because I've done it for over 15 years. 15? Okay, so to be a costume... More than 15 years.
What happens? Did they send you like the character breakdown or the script or what? How does it happen?
It's a whole process. So it starts from the phone call or the email. Oh, hello, Yolanda. Hi. My name is so production. We want you to be the costume designer for the movie. Okay. Then I say yes. Then the next thing, send me the script. So the script is the bedrock for everything. So I have to read the entire script. Even if it's 150 pages, I'll read everything. Though we must sign an NDA. Because in Nigeria now, we must put pen to paper. Yes. Sometimes you can read all of that and then tomorrow, share your idea. Somebody else will go and do it. Ooh. Oh, yes. I've had that before where I've done the breakdown, I've done the mood board, everything, shared it, and then I'm sitting out waiting for the call. Then I just see day one on IGA.
They took all your ideas.
Yeah. Or they just never call you back. So I'm very particular. If I'm going to sign that NDA, it means we're doing that work together. It takes a lot to read 150 pages. It takes a lot to read 90 pages. So you have to read the entire script. Then you now break it down. In breaking it down, you're doing it for 2 purposes. One is for the budget. The second is for the look, because I need to know how many looks does each character have in the entire film. So some characters can have about 30. Then you now break down those looks. So you see why I say if you go and carry and give somebody else, I kill you. I didn't say that. It's painful.
What project did you read the script and you were like, oh my God, I cannot wait to get my hands on these characters and dress them?
I've done so many.
I know.
I've done so many.
In 15 years, I'm sure.
Which one would I say I read and I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait? I would say there are 2 of them.
Okay.
Blood Sisters was one.
I knew it. I knew it. It was in my mind, but I didn't want to.
So
yes.
Blood Sisters, because I had worked with every single actor.
Okay. You
that
had
were
styled
playing
them for
yes,
like red carpet events and stuff?
other movies.
Other movies.
Then also red carpet. So
Okay.
one or two personal clients. So it was one of those, I was like, oh my God. Like when you get to the point where somebody dies, the whole thing changes from fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
So like you started with a fashion film and now you're going into something really serious.
Mm-hmm.
So that one, I was just like, what do I do with this film? What do I do differently with this film? It can be a fashion film, but it should not necessarily be a fashion film. There's also like
a strong story.
There's strong story here. There's suspense. There's real drama playing here. So that one really challenged me. I remember when Auntie Mabudu was like, "Oh, we need look." I said, "No, I need 2 weeks." She said, "Oh, 2 weeks for the lookbook." I said, "Ma, yes, so I needed to break every single scene." And I think the most challenging character that stuck out for me was Kitensha, because she had to play older.
See,
how do you play her older?
We had a whole moment. When I say we, people on Twitter had a whole moment. First of all, I have to say this: if you have a project on, whether it's TV, film, a series, whether it's Nigerian or not Nigerian, and Twitter is not talking about it, you have not done anything. That's number
true.
one. Think of every hit film or series, whether it's from Shonda Rhimes' Scandal, Bridgerton, to a Moabudu project, whatever it's, and they're not talking about it on Twitter.
You know,
you didn't
hit.
The clothes were a whole conversation on Twitter when Blood Sisters premiered. I will never forget. And I was always looking forward to seeing what Kate Henshaw's character, she was such a nasty character in the first place. She was a very wicked woman in the film. But her outfits, I was like, why is she like, there's tragedy, but this woman has a train in the, like, I'm just like, why is she, at some point, somebody said she's just like a Disney villain because
it was a lot of elements.
Your children, somebody has killed your child and then you are wearing this purple luxurious Auntie, you are vain, like what's going on?
Very vain. So it was, I took, I went to the deepest part of my creativity, like my deepest, biggest creative bone. And I said, but I pulled that inspiration from women in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother,
powerful women. Okay.
Yes, God bless her memory. I miss my grandma so much. She was my biggest inspiration for Kate Henshaw's character because she was a woman leader for a political party, and every morning. But before she became that, my grandma never had a bad day.
Okay.
Like when I mean it never had a bad day.
Looks
in the
like,
morning.
Okay.
Her wig is on the wig stand.
Okay.
So I learned as early as when I was like 8, 9. I knew that the 3 steps for a woman was to cleanse, tone, and moisturize. Fashion fair and all of those things, she would do all of that. Then you see her with a wig and see her with her outfit, like really flamboyant. I'm like, Grandma, you going somewhere? Like, no. I'm like, say somebody's going to come and visit me. I need to look good. And she would look like that, like she's going out, but she's not going anywhere. Then I had the opportunity to style Lady Abba Folabio.
Okay.
In her house.
Okay.
Jesus.
She's so regal.
Yeah. Huh. You see how you say in party? That's how she looks at home. So when you put all these women together, you can birth an Udu Akademola.
Yeah.
So for me, it was every frame. And also because, Kate Henshaw is slim.
Yeah.
How do you make her look big on screen? So I needed to go a little bit. So every time she came, that's why I say it's frame by frame. I had to design every frame. Like every time she was on screen and you see her, you're like, so even when she's at home watching news, you must know she's there. She's going here, you must know she's there. But I think my favorite outfit that I designed was when she went to see the commissioner of police. And she had to come down from the private jet. I created the outfit 3 times. I think I got on the third one. The first one, like, it didn't work. The second one, like, not there yet. I just wanted her to be visible and not visible at the same time. So I told her, I said, I made a hood. She was like, and Timon was like, what's the hood for? I said, don't worry, it will work. You said private jets, Abi, it has step. Don't worry. I said, she's going to float. I told her, I said, once you come out, have the hood on. As you step, push it back and just walk. That is my best scene in the whole film. Because that outfit cost me so much money.
I understand.
Yes,
Because back in the day, you'd watch a film or something, and maybe the family is supposed to be rich, and you're looking at them and you're like, they look regular. They're supposed to look rich. They're supposed to look. Do you understand? Yes, and I'm not saying that rich people are always flamboyant, but there is a way
you have to.
Wealth is portrayed before the character even says anything. Give you an example. I'm not even talking about Nollywood now. If anybody has seen Succession, Succession is about this very wealthy family.
Beautiful show.
They look so well put together without labels.
Yeah.
In fact, I remember there was a character, I think one of their characters brought a girlfriend or some girl he was seeing to a party, and she had on, these designer bags that have logos on them.
Yeah.
And they made fun of this person. I said, what is she wearing? Like that quiet luxury look that everybody wants to try to embody a few years ago. That's, and it adds to the story.
It does.
When the characters look the part. You cannot tell us that someone is a student from a modest background, but and they're not a thief in the film, and they don't look the part, basically. So you are definitely an integral part of the story. Okay, but how much research goes into building a character's wardrobe? Like, what are you thinking? Because it's not now let's break it down. It's not every time you're going to get a script where the characters are rich. How does somebody's but she makes bolly. How is she gonna look? Is she out there with, do you understand, microbladed brows? Or
I know.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like it bothers me when I'm supposed to be looking at a character. For example, I watched an epic movie 2-3 years ago, and the person, not even a lace front, the warrior had veneers. I was like, bro, now the warrior had veneers when they were fighting with spear. His teeth perfect. Like, do you understand? They didn't even color it. They didn't even maybe make one look missing. They didn't even do anything. So yeah, these little things.
I think I went with a mindset of being a fixer, because all of these things you said were the things that I thought about. Because I was exposed to Nollywood from a really young age, from Teens Fall Apart to Living in Bondage, Circle of Doom, all of these movies, or to the last one we have all seen. So I used to struggle with looking at what they looked like. So I didn't go into the industry wanting to be a costume designer. I just went in like, I think I even started with fashion design.
Okay.
They went from fashion designing to being a stylist.
So you started...
So I've gone the whole 3...
So you started out as a fashion designer?
Yeah.
Okay. How long did you do that for?
That was in uni. I did it for about 2 years.
Okay.
2 to 3 years.
Who were you designing
I realized
for?
It was too tough. It was too expensive. And tailors would run you mad.
Yeah.
Oh, it was my friends. I was delighted. So in school then, it was myself, Wana Sambo, and Funke Adepoju. Now she's Funky Freak.
Okay.
Yeah, so me and Wana were still trying to figure it out. Wana had a sewing machine on the bed. I'd be like, Wana, this is your stylist first. Like, Then I was always in school I was in Lagos every 2 weeks.
Okay.
To go and buy fabrics and all of that. So I knew I had my label. It was called Rani Giselle at the time. But then I was in love with the model called Giselle. Then
Bunchen,
I was a big Bollywood fan, Rani Mukherjee, and I just joined the two and I said, that's my brand name.
Okay.
But after when I year, I almost died. Taylor. I say, hey, Jesus. I just said, maybe I'll just do this styling thing, small. So from styling was where I found costume design.
Okay.
And so in tying to what you just said about the veneers and all of these things, it takes a village to make a film. Meaning that every single person, even the actor, must be involved in it. So, but sometimes there's struggles where the actors feel like, oh, it's going to make me look bad on screen, but you're not playing yourself. So those are some of the things that we struggle with.
To make you look bad on screen.
Oh yeah, there was a time I had to speak to production and they had to input in some contracts that most actors will not have a say in what they look like wardrobe-wise. Because you can't look like your Instagram self. You can't look like your red carpet self every time. Even if you're playing someone glamorous, who is this person? You are a character. When you're you, you're you. So, for example, that whole veneer thing had to have been a conversation from the director to the producer to the makeup, SFX. Now we have a lot of there's Hakim Effect, there's Karina, there's what's her name, Abisoye.
There's so many of them.
There's so many of them. They're really, really good, and they can do like false teeth or something.
They could have given him something. I was just like,
I remember seeing one movie, and then it was a village film, and this person had a lace front. I said, okay, maybe But then we don't know the reason why she had that. Maybe she was on another set. Sometimes I don't blame them. Money is so maybe they have to like 2, 3 sets. In that, if that was me as a costume designer, I'll put a scarf on her head so I can cover this.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably just see the end. Just find ways to mask it. So I call it. I say we also have to reinvent ourselves. You must reinvent. Go back and look at your last book and be like, what did I do here that I can do differently? Because these things show, even up to the nails.
Oh
Because
yeah.
sometimes we'd access will come and then everybody's like, oh my God, she has nails. Because we have to look at every single thing. You miss some. Like the other set what were we struggling with piercings? They're like, oh, why did she? I said, no, you guys forget that apart from her being an actor, she's also herself. I said, so what we should have done is a week before, we could have looked at her picture and said, oh, she has piercings. Please, can you take everything off? We're literally struggling. They're taking the first shot. We'll just say,
And they noticed that she had piercings. It's time to talk about money. Listen, as much as we love to talk about the fashion, we have to talk about money. Let's talk about investments. Now, for a long time, investment felt complicated or maybe out of reach for many, many people. And Yield by Credit Direct helps investing feel more accessible and less intimidating. You can choose options that fit your comfort level, from flexible plans to fixed plans that offer strong annual returns. Seriously, up to 21% per annum, depending on the option you choose. So think about what option you want to choose. If you want to find out more, you need to download the Credit Direct app. Also, it's about creating a habit of growth and letting your money quietly build over time. If you've been curious about investing, but you didn't know where to start, again, download the Credit Direct app and explore Yield. All right. You mentioned something about money.
Yeah.
How are costume budgets typically structured in Nollywood, for example, in productions, basically?
Ooh, so the truth is, from the inception of the project, before you even get called, production already has a budget. And
Okay.
I know this because I'm also a producer, right?
Okay.
So we already the holistic figure of what you want to spend
Mm-hmm.
to make a movie, but there's also the reality of what the
Yes.
script is saying. Because
Yes.
sometimes some scripts are larger than life, and you
Yes.
read it, you're just like, where do I start from? So I've learned over time. I've learned that, you know what, this one is not for me. Sit
Mm.
it out, because you're going to get into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to stain my small white I'm managing. You're not going to stain it. Bleach can't even clean it. So from the script, everything is broken down to even the underwear. You
Mm-hmm.
start to budget for it.
Mm-hmm.
So are you renting? Are you buying? Are you pulling?
Mm-hmm.
Are you creating, like producing, like sewing from scratch?
Mm-hmm.
So all of those things, that's what varies in making up the budget.
Do you have like an army of tailors who work
Ah,
for you? Because I know you've mentioned when we're speaking off camera, you mentioned that you don't like pulling. A lot of
yeah.
times you like to create like an outfit from scratch, that sort of thing. So if you have read this script and you realize, look, I'm going to have to create a lot of these outfits or these
Mm-hmm.
costumes, do you have like your own team of tailors to say, okay, I want you to do this? Or there are designers you work with to say, help me create this?
I have a team of tailors.
Mm-hmm.
Then I also have a team of young designers.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have some relationship with some older designers. So
Mm-hmm.
a typical example to answer your question would be something about the Briggs. This one
Okay.
I talked about. I said at the AMVCA nomination, I created over 160 clothes from scratch.
Wow. How
Yeah.
long did that take?
It's the fastest I've ever done, but I never want to do it again in such a short time because I almost died. I only had 1 month to do that. It was
Okay.
crazy. But because
Wow.
over time I built capacity, I
Mm-hmm.
knew how to like share
Mm-hmm.
and say this person, this person. But what I did with the project, in saying that I built an army, was I had just recently finished the reality show called Style Magnet on Showmax.
Okay.
My friend's show, Bisola Molade, she was the showrunner. I was lead producer on that. So it's like God just gave me these young people because I was
Mm-hmm.
looking for, there's a lot of young people that are actually very creative.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a class of 20 designers. And
Okay.
I already knew those that were going to go really, really far.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked 7 of them and I said, I'm going to give 7 of you an opportunity. You're going to work with me on a movie
Okay.
and we're going to kill it. So I designed every single outfit. And I said, you get 5, you get 10, you get this, you get that. I paid.
What
It wasn't
happens to
free.
these outfits after the production? So like 160 outfits. I'm sure some you still added. What happens to the clothes after each production?
Hey, it belongs to the production. So it depends. It belongs to some. It belongs to the production.
Mm-hmm.
If we pulled it, we send it back. If it was made for us, let's say it was a kind gesture, like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'll make it for you. Give me this
Give me
credit or
credit,
give me this
yeah.
end credit. We send it back. But most times it belongs to the production. Some productions say they don't want to keep it, and then I end up inheriting it.
So what do you do with it?
Some you're able to repurpose.
Mm-hmm.
Some it's just there. It's just there. And after a while, maybe after like 2, 3, I can't use. So I never like to. I don't know how to repeat stuff in other productions.
Mm-hmm.
I have made 1 or 2 mistakes in doing that, or maybe my team they've made 1 or 2 mistakes in pulling something that I use in another production,
Mm-hmm.
and then I see it. It's not good for you. So I repurpose what I can repurpose, and sometimes we do like a sale.
Okay.
So you can do like a garage sale and set
Okay.
where some people get to buy stuff. But I never like that because if the movie hasn't come out, you buy it, I see it.
Okay.
So I rather keep it until when the movie has come out. Then 3 to 4 months post movie coming out, you can now say you want to do a sale or something. But some people keep like everything life, we keep everything. We keep everything. And if we really need to use it in another production like 2, 3 years down the line, it wouldn't even be for a lead. It would be maybe for like the day players, maybe like a wedding scene or like uh be like an extra scene. Because with the extras these days, you have to help that wardrobe. So I have a line on my budget that says extras. Sorry, I don't call them extras. Day players wardrobe. Because
Okay.
you have to. I have not spoiled the film.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense
Yeah.
to shoot a scene that has extras and the extras
Don't look
match.
like the actors.
Yes.
So
yeah.
I'm very particular about that. So yeah, sometimes we keep them. Then also I use sometimes in recent years, in the last 3, 4 years, I've done a couple of exhibitions. So because we've kept and archived some of them, I can take some of these pieces and say, oh, this was from Far From Home. This was from The Meeting. This was from La Femme Angela. This was from Blood Sisters.
La Femme Angela was
and
another
just-
good one as
Oh
well.
yeah,
that was another good one.
That was another challenging one because Rita really like we need this to be, and I said okay, no matter how we do, we're gonna put an African twist to it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I didn't realize that we had a lot of Ankara prints in different textures. I always imagined that there would be, but I never found it. And then one day I walked into a store, I think owned by Patrick Yansky, and she has every Ankara print you can think about in sequin.
different textures, in
Jesus.
silk, in
I was like
whatever.
in Fabric Haven. And that was how I was able to achieve La Femme Angela because I really just wanted Mr. Dominic to look
a certain
way, but not just the Ankara wax cutting all through. So when that happened, I was like, yeah, I got a nomination for that one too. See, you know the good ones.
Yeah, no, I've got no honestly
You
because
do.
I've when you are watching, I don't know, some people don't understand this, but I'm not just watching because the story is interesting. I'm also looking like, does this thing make sense? Does this character is this?
Yeah.
Is this person dressed appropriately?
Yeah.
The person is supposed to be a fraudster. There's a certain Yahoo Boy aesthetic, for example. Did they nail it? Or does he, do you understand?
Yeah.
And there's a reason why characters should be dressed the way they are dressed. Now, have you ever had to create a luxury look on a very tight budget?
I have. Because people think I'm a fixer. It's like she's a magician. I'm not. I think because I really love what I do and I'm very passionate about it. So sometimes I feel like most times I don't budget enough. I'm just like, yeah, let's just go. Then halfway,
and then your eyes will clear when you get to the market, when it's time to buy, when it's time to create.
So I have not on multiple projects I have. And I've given you my word, we're going to do it, right? So I'll find a way. Sometimes I bleed. Sometimes I go home with no money. But then I think the fulfillment that comes with that satisfaction of just doing that work and seeing the end product. Yeah, just that now house rents have cost now. So I can't be doing that again.
What is the highest budget you've worked with for a production? Can you give us like a range? You don't have to mention the production. So just say for a particular project, the budget was so and so.
Okay, I can call the amount, but I cannot call the.
Yeah, you don't have to call the production. I mean, if you feel free, if you want to.
Was about 75 to 76 million.
Wow.
Mm,
Wow.
yeah, it was a lot of money because of how intentional she was with the project.
How
Just
many
like
costumes?
over 100.
Okay.
It
Okay.
was a lot of costumes.
What's the name of the product?
I said it. I've already put out the name of the
I know.
feed.
I think I know who it is. There's a person who
Yeah.
has a reputation for being very particular about their productions.
Yes.
Even when the person is not around, I
Mm.
hear that the person is on video call,
Oh yeah.
paying attention. So the person is busy.
Yeah.
They might not be on set every time they're
Mm.
shooting, but the person is there video call because the person wants to see what
See
is
what?
going
Oh yeah.
on. You have to be intentional. You have to be meticulous. If you want things to go well, and some people will look at it and say, oh, it is micromanaging.
Mm.
But look, if you want your stuff to go well, you're
You better
not
put
going
your
to be
eye.
careless
Yeah.
about your projects.
Yeah.
And thanks to technology, you can keep
You
an
can do
eye
it.
on
Yeah,
what
I've
you're.
done a couple of remote projects. Like at some point when life was happening, and I had to be out of the country. Had to do with my team. So every night we're doing the video calls or tagging work every second. So like you said, thanks to technologies, made everything feel like you're in that same space with them.
Have you ever had to dress a character or create costumes for a character that you were confused about?
Yes. So
Okay.
recently on Shop One, that I think we figured it out when the actor finally came to set because he had some issues, so we couldn't.
Do you fitting
Yeah, because typically my role is I don't fit on set. We must fit at
before
least.
the
Oh
production?
yeah, 1 week too. Everything has to be hanging. It's better that way. So you also see it, you feel it, you understand who you're playing. And then we just didn't know. I said, director, what are we doing? Like, I don't know yet. Or we couldn't see it. It was just a very hard character for us to see. So I think until we saw him and he walked in and he's like, we now look at each other like, yes, we see it now. Yeah. So sometimes there are those fashion is the easiest thing to actually. I always say fashion films are the easiest because fashion is very easy to just run and just do fashion. But when you're shooting anything that's like a thriller or a bit of action, it's got suspense in it, or it's just that's just like a basic normal world, it can be a little bit challenging because you can't make it too ordinary. There has to be something unique about it. It might be the color, or it might just be the color or the style or something. Or maybe it might not be the little spice, but the character adds to it that now makes the outfit come alive. So those ones are the hardest. You just in your mind like, oh, just go and buy a brown t-shirt and brown pants. It just might not work the way you've seen it. So those ones are I call them they're technical, challenging to costume design. Yeah.
Okay. I remember Blood Sisters. There was a particular character that was dragged. It was Maurice Sam's character. He was supposed to be the hitman. And it was a wedding or something. I can't remember. It was a party scene in the beginning of and everybody's dressed, nice, damask and this, and you know how we dress up for events.
Yeah.
They were all wearing trad or something. It was a wedding. I can't remember what it was. And he was there in a leather jacket.
Yeah.
And people dragged the character because they were like, this is the worst hitman in the history. And I guess it also made sense because at first I was like, why will you dress up in a leather jacket? If they sent you to kill somebody, would you not try to blend in? But it further showed that the hitman himself was useless. And that's why he was dressed in a leather jacket at a wedding. Do you understand? Like, there are certain things, it's so technical.
Yeah.
And people don't really sometimes pay attention to these things.
Yeah.
Okay. You've already answered a few questions I asked because I wanted to ask how do actors ever resist your styling choices? Do you feel like costume designers get enough credit in Nigerian film? Be honest.
No.
Okay.
That's part of the things I talked about in my masterclass. So I just had a class about 3 weeks ago, and I called the conversation with the master. It was very intimate. I only wanted 10 people, and I needed to get into their heads to understand where they were and why they chose to do this. And because I've done it, I can teach you what I know. And it was very interesting to what you said is part of what they said, because I always tell people that if you don't have a camera, you can't film. If you don't have costumes, you can't film. So costumes are as important as the camera. And I call them the big fives that make the picture. So there's a producer, there's a director, the cinematographer, the production designer, and the costume designer. Everybody has to align. So that same respect you give to production design, like if you don't have this entire set, there's nothing. So Mimi has to look a certain way. So I walked in here. What did I tell you? I was going to wear black. But I said, how about the background? I said, podcast. It might be black. You know what? Let me pop some more color. It makes a difference.
Yeah.
Because and then on screen, we don't like black. The black has a way of just being there. So the replacement for black is navy blue. So when you learn all of these tricks and trade, and you're dealing with so many people, you're handling it's a whole institution. Like some sets I have, the last set I was in last year, it was me plus about 10.
10
Sometimes
what?
it takes an army, a team of 10.
Okay.
To turn the whole thing around. Then if we have like really big days, we get extra hands, we can get another extra 5 or 10. So it's a lot of work. So I don't think that it's being treated the way it should be. And I'm very quick to say, I'm not a costumier. I'm a costume designer, two different people.
Okay.
So we do this thing in Nollywood where it just feels like, just bring your clothes, anything. No, we've passed that stage. That was 10 years ago. That was 20 years ago. Now, there's a story. The story is what we're using as the framework for the film. So can we read it? Can we understand who these people are? Can we know who these people are? Can we know them early enough and then get to work? If not, it's going to keep being trivial. And I've said to some people, you have to learn how to say no. I learned how to say no just 2 years ago. Before, I almost die. How many sets I want to die because, oh no, I cannot hurt. Now I just say, because I now carried insomnia on my back and I was wearing it like a medal.
What do you prefer to do? Design costumes for productions, or do you prefer like red carpet styling or personal styling? What do you prefer?
Design costumes for
Really?
Yeah.
Even though it's tougher.
I'm the master.
I love it.
Yeah. I've done it for so long, so I can do it in my sleep.
Okay.
And I love creating. So, and I also have, I think it's also because I have a greater like percentage of creative control. And I know how to bring these characters to. I love telling stories. So anything that will make me bring a character to life is exciting to me. It's a new challenge. So everything now has to be is challenging. So now I'm looking for the challenging script. Like there's some, and I'm like, no, don't want to do this one. Been there, done that. Yeah, I love it because it's like a play. It's like a canvas, and you just have your paints and your brushes, and you're just painting every day.
What sort of projects do you prefer? Do you prefer like epic projects where they're in the bush somewhere and it's 2000 BC, or do you prefer like modern stories?
Oh, so
where they will
I
show
don't
the
know.
bridge
I think
6,000
this.
times?
I think I think the story is what does it for me.
Okay.
So now I'm all about story. I've done all the let's just do it because we are. Now, if the story is sweet, you don't need to call. I'm writing because me, I'm very traditional. I write before I type. Yeah. So the story, I've read some really incredible epic stories. Some I've never even shot them. Then I've read some really great modern story. I just read one really beautiful story also YouTube. And the person was like, oh, I was thinking, I said, oh, I'll do it. It's like, you will? I said, yeah. Somebody supported me, maybe. Somebody gave me a chance. So I don't see anything. To me, there's nothing like YouTube film, cinema film, Netflix. Every movie is a movie. I treat it that way. So I read one and I was like, wow, their budget wasn't it, but I said, we'll do it like, I said,
for the love of it.
Yeah.
For the passion.
For the passion. Yeah. I love it.
All this love and passion,
Sometimes,
Yolanda,
so
please.
no, I know. So I have my baskets of in the year where I just say only 2 people get the.
Because I was going to report you. Let me tell you what happened. So
what did I did wrong?
I didn't do anything wrong. Jokes apart. But there were times when I think I had reached out and said, oh, I'd like you to style me for one thing or the other thing. Then when you told me you starting from Iran. So and
let me explain to you that time.
Hello, sorry, please. And this was like 5-6 years ago or thereabouts. When you now say, I looked at the amount. I blinked twice. I think we even spoke on the phone. I was like,
I was in my creative gene that time. Now
you and your what?
I was creativity was doing me.
I know, but it was costly.
Hey, and that time my eye was big. The big designers, they were calling big money. So now when we see all things have passed away, this is a new era. Do I look like what I looked like 5 years ago?
No.
Don't I look sweet?
After you collected almost 100 million for costuming, of course,
But
will you not look sweet?
But I just told you now that I did the YouTube one. Now.
Okay.
Did I not just tell you? So don't scare my future clients.
For those who are, it's a good thing that you mentioned that you had a masterclass. For those who are interested in costume design or styling, do you have to go to school for it? There are courses, right?
There are courses, yes.
I don't know about in Nigeria, but even the good thing is I've seen like lots of online courses for different things. But what are the ways that people can learn apart from school?
Attach yourself to
masterclasses,
internships, yeah.
Okay.
And see, the problem is they don't want to work on anybody. They don't understand that service is where you learn.
Okay.
I answered the same question in my class, and I said, look for somebody that you like their work.
Okay.
And say, can I work with you?
Okay.
Can I intern with you?
Okay.
And you stay there.
Okay.
So the problem is they don't stay too long. It's almost like I'm there for 2 months. I've learned it. How can I do? Don't go and come and say you work with me. So I'm very strict on getting.
You did not do freedom.
You never. Exactly. I have to do freedom for you now.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm very. So my DM at some point was a lot of, I want to. I was like,
can you mentor me?
Half of you just want to come and take picture with Genevieve and RMD. I told them, I said, do you know, for the longest time, I never had a photo with any actor.
Mm-hmm.
I was too busy working to actually even just
take focus on the wrong things.
Assistants. There's one, before I even say pimp shall wear costume. I see what doing was say, they say, I said, so who will hold the cloth? Me?
She was there she was there to assist you.
Yes,
but she quickly walked close to join the.
I went down to get something. I came back. I saw her. I was like, excuse me. She's like, yeah, the director said. I said, the director said. So I said to her, I said, you know what? Every other person stay like this. Since you are wearing clothes on costume and be an actor, you will be the standby. When they say cut, you fix everybody here. Because they were about to go.
Like, so I just felt like, work.
I was like, so some of them are distracted like that. So it's hard for me to now say, I want to take this person and then pour myself into or whatever. So if I see it and I identify it, I don't have a problem. I will coach. But if you want to be that, whether it's director, producer, costume designer, stylist, serve. Go under somebody and learn. I ask a lot of questions. My director can wake up in the morning and say like 5 questions. I've already asked you so many questions. We're making a film. It's called a film by him, not a film by me. But I'm here to make his job easy and to translate his vision. So if you can serve, you get to where you're going to.
Okay, please tell the truth. And I'm not trying to put you on the spot. Today, on many Nollywood sets, do actresses still come on set with their wigs and use those wigs for the character? Because, I've done small acting here and there. And a lot of those it's not like I've done many, but those productions, I used my own hair. So what's happening with that?
I see this every time. I don't like when actors come to set and they use their hair. Because when you buy your hair for you.
Your own personal use.
For your own personal use.
Yeah.
And there's a way you like to style it, there's a way you like it to look. There are places. So a woman can have 5 wigs, and these 5 wigs, she wears them to 5 different places. Like, I'm not expose myself, but you see, this is my bob. Now, they're for me, I should not wear this bob. But I don't have anything to wear here.
But this is it. What's wrong with the bob?
Oh, no, they say I should go and buy another wig. The time have passed.
There's nothing wrong with it.
So when I did masterclass, and I did one hair like your hair, everybody like, hey! I said, that's just one. I'm going back to the bob. So if I were an actor, and I came to say that and knock this bob, it's not the same Yolanda. That's why I use myself as an example. So she's a character. Please create a budget for hair. I know one thing that we do in everyday life very well is no actor must show up with their hair.
Okay.
Oh no, she's gonna have your neck. No, because it's a movie. We don't want you looking like this. So that's why I said do the homework. Go to their Instagram pages. Instagram is now is free, Abby. So you can see what they've looked like in the last 6 months and say, okay, let's stay away from this. So we'll now start to create the hair according to what the character should look like.
Okay.
So there are different kinds of waves. And now they have I'm not a hair person, but I know that they have this one they call something blend.
Blend, yeah. Synthetic hair, basically.
I love it past the other one because it makes me look vavavoom-ish. Yeah. So you can buy that. It's cheap. You can buy that. How was it? You know, every films have different duration. So some, maybe the film story is like 10 days, some is 1 day, some is like 3 months or a year. So you break it. And so at the end of the day, Bim's character might have like 3 hair. Buy the 3 hair.
Have actors
Can she
ever
not just
stolen your
bring-
costumes?
Plenty times.
They will run away with the costume.
Yeah, sometimes you just take it off set.
And you never get it back.
Yeah.
Even if you call and say, please, can you bring back that blouse?
Call. Yeah. Some do that.
Why
It's
would
a
you
bad
steal
habit.
the costume?
It's a bad habit. No, I'll send it back. And they just never send it back. So now I report it. If I notice it now, I'm very. So I think some of them got away with it in my early middle days, but now you can't try it. No, the production, somebody has to pay for it somewhere. If you like it, pay for it. But then I don't sell costumes.
Yeah.
Because you can't wear the clothes before the film come out. I can't. It took me time to design that.
Oh, you might need to reshoot for continuity or something along the lines. Don't you need a lot of? Do you have like a warehouse where you keep all these things?
Yes, I do. I have a rental store.
Okay.
I have one. I have a warehouse where I keep stuff. But just that landlord want to finish my life.
Oh yeah. Rent is crazy.
Anybody that want to give me grant, I'm open for grants. And I can tell you what I want. I want big, those big warehouses that look like that conga place. Yeah.
That's kind of warehouse you need.
That's the dream.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Finally, who controls how the characters look the most? The director, the stylist, or the budget? Or all of the above?
The answer is two. The director, really, because he has to see what he has to see. That's why it's a director's film. But the budget cannot get in the way of interpreting the director's vision. Then stylists too can be overzealous and get in the way of seeing it another way, but it's usually the director. So the person you talk to the most is the director, because he already has, because there's a treatment he gives. So after you've read the script and you've agreed to do the film, before you even do your lookbook, you have to work off his treatment. So his treatment has everything that he wants to see, from production design to the tone of the film, the theme, the color palette, everything is there. So it's like the template you now use to work to do your lookbook. So if what you give him as your lookbook or your mood board is entirely different from what he gave in his treatment, then that's a conflict of interest. So it stems from him, because that is the treatment that is the whole film that you see at the end of the day.
Thank you, Yolanda, for stopping by.
Thank you.
It was really, really good to have you. And I think, you know what? We'll probably have this conversation again very
well.
Not
it's
very
a never-ending conversation.
But it's a never-ending conversation because there's so much to learn, but there's so little time. Thank you again. Don't forget to follow her at Yolanda Okereke, right? Yes, on all social media platforms. You're only on IG. What happened to TikTok?
I don't know. I'm too old. I can't keep up with this social media.
You know, I love a giveaway. And as usual, this week, we're giving you a gift voucher to shop at a Nigerian fashion brand. But all you have to do is first download the Credit Direct app and then follow them on IG. Follow us at the Fashion Roundtable. Show us proof in the DMs and you could be this week's winner. Thank you for watching. Bye. This episode was brought to you by Credit Direct.